Like every now and then, like you do something so awful, you don't. I wouldn't tell my dad. One time, oh God, I was at his farm and he was away on a trip. I've probably told you all this before, but there was a bird on the power line, and I normally would never shoot a bird on a power line with anything more powerful than like a 22, because you don't want to risk shooting the power line into, right? That's a big deal. But there he was, and I had a really good rifle. I had this big Remington 40XB 22-250 with a 36 power Unerdal scope on it. This is the gun you use to cut playing cards in half. It'll put 3 bullets in the same hole at 120 yards. It's what it does. It weighs 15 pounds or something, and it's a small caliber rifle. When you shoot it, it goes key. It barely moves, but the scope's like gyroscopically stabilized, so it doesn't move. It stays stationary. This is the gun to shoot a bird off a power line. But I didn't know my dad had zeroed it for like some other range. And so at 50 meters, it's shooting real low. And so instead of making the bird go poof, which is what a 22-250 will do to a robin, it'll go poof. It's really satisfying. You can hear the bullet hit it. It just shot the goddamn power line in two. Just shot the big power line in two. Now, I've never seen a power line hit the ground before. It hits the ground and starts jumping around. Yeah, shooting blue fire and making this noise. Well, the plasma is cooking the grass and blackening everything, and it's moving. I didn't know it would actually move, and there it is. There's death. There's death right there. We're looking at it. You know that fucking thing, and of course the electricity's gone to an entire farm, and God knows where else.
Anyone that way,
yeah, and it's just me. It's just me there. So I had to run around, start generators, go to the gas station, buy a good 20, 30 extra gallons of diesel, make sure I topped all the tanks off, babysit those generators, and like make sure everything was good until Dad got home. And I was like, man, that lightning hit your power line right in the fucking middle. Can you believe that? Hero Kyle saved the day, though. You don't have to pay me to be your watchman, but I take tips.
Thank you, Kyle.
And to be fair, I did step up and save the day. I just didn't mention that it was an act of Kyle, not an act of God.
So really, the weather's been tremendous. Like,
dude, that's what our neighbor said when I was getting some diesel from him. He was like, I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear no lightning. I ain't seen no storm. Well, it was a freak storm, and it was a very quiet lightning.
Sounded a lot like a gunshot. Actually,
it was
called the one strike storm.
I was basically just like, shut up.
Shut up.
Did the wire stay like shooting out plasma and stuff? Like did you just like leave it like that, or like what happened there?
It kept doing that for a significant amount of time, like a couple of minutes. And then the way I remember it is it stopped. And I think that's because there's some safety things or somewhere where the grid realized that it was detached and turned the power off. Somewhere along the line, it turned itself off there. Oh no, I went to the power company and told them about the freak, lightning storm.
Right.
Did they say, wow, sounds like real freaky. Yeah, we're 3 miles from there, and my car's dry.
Happens all the time.
That's 100% accurate. Everything you just said. It's about 3 miles. Yeah.
About 3 miles. You walk in soaked with like a rain hat on.
Oh yeah. I had my umbrella. I was like shaking it off as I walked in.
Don't even look outside, everybody. It's a madhouse.
I saw the umbrella and went, hey. Yeah. That was I didn't tell Dad that. What happened with that was Scott ratted me out to my dad. He told my dad, but then he told me, he's like, man, I let it slip about the thing. And I was like, damn it. I'd never told. And so like the next time he brought it up, I remembered that he knew, and I knew he was trying to fuck with me. And I was like, You know I did it. Don't try to pretend. Don't try to make me squirm, old man. I know you know. I know you know.
You feel like messing with him. Like, now you're trying to turn me into the bad guy and all of this. Like just gaslighting your dad about the power lines.
I'm the savior in this story. God damn it! I was stress testing that line. If it can't take a 22-250, I mean, come on.
Let me tell you, it was ready to pop.
Ready to pop. Yeah.
Lucky I've never seen a downed power line in person. I bet it would be kind of neat.
More impressive than that.
I haven't seen one that was doing stuff.
More impressive than that. I was driving into town one day in Livonia, and I was driving past the post office, and there's a power line where one of the the cylindrical power things that are up on the power poles. I don't know what they do.
Transformer.
Is that what it is?
I think they're called that. Yeah.
That gray cylinder that's up there, whatever the fuck that is. Lightning hit that before my eyes, 75 yards from me, and I'm looking in that direction because I'm driving, and I saw that fucking thing explode, and it made a huge fireball of blue and gold plasma, and then like sparklers rained down like in a movie. I thought that was just a movie effect, like when I blew up that car and they like CGI'd it all up. They're like, yeah, and then we do this, and it's that same effect that's in every. It's just a plug-in. But it looked like a fucking plug-in in real life. I watched that thing explode. It was badass. You could hear it. Well, obviously it was lightning. It was deafening.
It was deafening. You could hear it so clearly, so well.
Lightning's awesome. Every time I've seen lightning a bunch of times do crazy shit. My uncle was working on a car. Had a floor jack, a big metal thing on concrete floor. Lightning hit a tree outside, came through the floor jack and gave him a jolt.
Oh my god!
And like dropped him to the ground, and he's like laying there all fucked up for a while. They had to help him into the house.
Jesus Christ.
My cousin was working inside of a poultry house, and he had his hand on a metal feed line. Lightning hit outside, ran inside and hit him. And he was just jolted so badly. He was just in full, like he had lost it. He was just crying, like screaming, crying. Like he was just from the pain, I guess, but he was just sitting on the ground with his hands like this, crying when it hit him.
So he wasn't being shocked anymore, and he was still.
No, it was just it hit him in one like bam kind of like jolt, and then
you're probably in shock. Like your heart just almost stopped. You almost died.
I was a real pussy. I'm gonna be honest.
What a baby. Yeah. It's only lightning.
Big boys don't cry, right?
Did Ben Franklin cry?
Hell no. He had syphilis too. You know what he did? He said, "Bring me another.
Bring me another." They call him the Genghis Khan of syphilis. Did you know that?
Goddamn right.
He spread it around more than anyone in history.